Oh my goodness, we got NFL drama all over the place. In particular, I'm going to start in Dallas where this Dak Prescott story just won't disappear. And I'm kind of laughing already because it's such a juvenile, ridiculous story, but it's also utterly fantastic for what we do. So, to refresh out there, Dak Prescott, serious leg injury, has surgery, appears to be well on his way back. The Cowboys without Dak Prescott flounder, although they show a little bit of life late in the season with Andy Dalton. They now have to make a decision. Dak did not sign a long-term deal. So he took they franchise tagged him, and he was on a one-year franchise tag. Now the Cowboys have to make a decision going forward. What are they going to do? Dak was injured. Before he was injured, he was playing outstanding. You've got three really talented young wide receivers still in Amari Cooper, in CeeDee Lamb, and also Michael Gallup. All three of those guys are proven. Who knows what's going to happen with Ezekiel Elliott? Yes, the offensive line needs some work, and Mike McCarthy was not much of a success story in year one. So everybody's kind of assuming, myself included, there's a lot of drama out there right now at the quarterback position with Deshaun Watson, with Carson Wentz, with Russell Wilson, with Jared Goff, with Matthew Stafford. Already a lot of moving parts. And that's before we even get to the NFL draft or free agency starting, all these different figuring out exactly what the salary cap's going to be in the NFL. And then the Dallas Cowboys put out a hype video. And if you didn't know, the Dallas Cowboys left Dak Prescott out of their hype video. Now, why are they making a hype video after the season that they just completed? I don't know. It was a disaster of a season. I don't really think there's a necessity to celebrate the season that they just had, but they made a hype video, okay? And that hype video did not include Dak Prescott. Now, I find it impossible to believe that whoever is making the Dallas Cowboy hype video, by choice, chooses to leave Dak Prescott out of that video. I just find that to be an unbelievable choice to be made intentionally. I just don't think it's possible. Why do I think that? Because whoever's making the hype video is making, let's be honest, $40,000 a year, if that, to make the Dallas Cowboy hype video. And the last thing you want to do is have anybody in upper management know your name. You want to keep your job. And the best way to keep your job is by not rocking the boat with a freaking hype video. So someone at the Dallas Cowboys had to make a decision to leave Dak Prescott out of that hype video, and I have to believe it was somebody fairly high up in the organization, because I don't think somebody would put their neck on the line for something that petty and that juvenile and that ridiculous without it being a choice fairly high up. Could I be wrong? Yes. I run a business that is much smaller than Outkick. Much smaller than the Dallas Cowboys. It's called Outkick. We've got a decent number of people that work for us any given day. There are lots of decisions that get made by all of our people that I don't see on a day-to-day basis. So it's certainly possible that whoever is in charge of that hype video made the disastrous decision to intentionally leave Dak Prescott out of the video. I just don't believe anybody could make that bad of a decision. And frankly, if they did, and suddenly Jerry Jones finds out about it, that person's probably going to get fired. My position on the business is do a good job, but I'm paying you not to make disastrous decisions. And creating a problem for me is a disastrous decision for someone who is making the equivalent of a hype video. So don't screw this up. I can't believe that it was anything other than intentional. If it was intentional, what in the world are the Dallas Cowboys doing? Because what happens with Dak Prescott, as social media would quickly let you know, whether they were in simultaneous time or whether it's just a function of both sides being angry at the other, Dak Prescott went on Instagram and followed the Washington football team. This is funny. It's always possible this is accidental too. Maybe Dak Prescott was just scrolling through Instagram and he accidentally clicked follow on the Washington football team. He didn't even know that he had done it until it turned into a big story. To me, I would go with Occams Razor. You know what Occams Razor is? When you consider all the possibilities, the thing that is the most likely to have happened probably happened. So I tend to look at all the different possibilities, and I think there had to be some intent here. That the Dallas Cowboys left him out, and then they made the decision that they were going to go, Dak Prescott did in his camp, let's add some fuel to the fire here and then go ahead and make this choice. Again, Occam's Razor, it's a good phrase. If you haven't heard it before, look it up. The simplest explanation is usually the right one. And so, using Occam's Razor here, I think the simplest explanation going on is there's some trouble in Dallas. And Dak Prescott and Jerry Jones, as the representatives of player and management, are not seamlessly intertwining here and leading us into a clear, easy contract negotiation. Maybe Dak is asking to be able to explore the market. I understand that desire if I'm Dak Prescott. Maybe the Cowboys are unhappy with that. We know it came down to dollars in the offseason. Maybe the Cowboys, I think rightly, as stewards of the organization, are saying, hey, we offered you a lot of money last year and you weren't injured, and now you want us to pay you a lot more money coming off of an injury? So let me float this idea out there, and I'll unpack it a little bit later in the show. Is it possible that the Cowboys could institute some sort of sign and trade possibility with Dak Prescott? Could they be in the mix? Who knows? Maybe, possibly, to make a run at the number 1 overall pick with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Could there be a possibility that Dak is available out there for a variety of different teams, and the Cowboys, with those young wide receivers, with Gallup, Lamb, and Amari Cooper, want to go get younger even at the quarterback position and less costly than what they're going to have to pay Dak Prescott? I think there's some drama here. Where there is smoke, I think there's a fire, and that fire ain't burning brightly because these two teams are getting along well.